Good afternoon. Just want to start by saying I'm really proud of our team and our coaching staff. A very important win on Saturday over Rutgers. Just really pleased with the preparation that went into it and the focus that our guys had and the senior leadership that those young men displayed and going into their final home game here at Memorial Stadium, and just wanted to send them off in the right way. I thought our underclassmen bought into that and did a great job. Really encouraged by the way that our offense performed, and really felt like that running the football has been a priority. Hasn't been easy, and we've worked on that diligently and really kind of reaped the benefits of that, I thought, on game day, especially there at the end when the weather started getting bad, as we kind of knew it might per the reports, and then be able to effectively run the football there at the end and move the chains and score a couple touchdowns off of that was big. Therefore, because of that, we chose our entire offensive line and the six guys that did all the playing, which would be Coy Crunk, Hunter Littlejohn, Mackenzie Wara, Brandon Knight, Delroy Baker, and Wes Martin were all our players of the game offensively, and really proud of their performance. Still have things to continue to work on there, but didn't give up any sacks as well and ran the ball extremely well, which was a great job. And then because of that, Morgan Ellison was named the Co-Big Ten Freshman of the Week, and it's our third one of the season in that area. And so really proud of him, the way he responded. And Cole Guest as well ran the ball extremely hard and effectively. Great ball security with bad weather conditions in the run game. And those were all extremely positive things, which also allowed us to average 8 yards a play on first downs, which is a big priority for us as we go through. And then did a great job on third downs, converting as well. So good performance by our offense, and Coach DeBoard working hard to allow us to be able to be the best football team we can be as a whole group. Defensively, really proud of our guys. Focus and effort, played extremely hard, continued to be disruptive. Really play that stuck out to me defensively was we did have a sudden change situation where we gave them the ball deep in our territory, and the very next play was a sack cost fumble by Greg Gooch. Just textbook technique, and the only thing that would have made it a perfect play was if Tony Fields would have had a chance to scoop and score, and not just scoop, but he did a great job securing the ball, and we got that, and then went out and scored a touchdown off of that huge takeaway after a sudden change. And so that's just team football there that I thought was excellent. And because of that sequence, those two young men, Greg Gooch, Tony Fields, were our defensive players of the game, and felt like that they continue. Tony's been so huge for us and stepping in, with the injury to Marcelino and allowing him at that Husky position to just really blossom and play extremely well. So, and then Greg has been such a complete leader, player, tough guy, and cares so much about this program. So to see him play so well and do such a great job was huge. Special teams wise, Hayden Whitehead, 3 more punts inside the 20, continues to punt the ball well and help us in that area with the wind. The wind was crazy, going all different directions, and Rashard Fant was the special teams player of the game. The huge recovery on the muff punt and being in just perfect position where he's supposed to be, and then also had a tackle on special teams, and just continues to buy into the little things of putting our best players on the field as much as possible. In regards to our preparation, defensive scout team players of the week, Sam Slusher, Andrew Stam, a couple young guys that continue to work hard and give us a great look. Offensive scouts of the week, Mike Fiacable at quarterback and Rod Lloyd at running back as well. So leadership on those sides of the ball, each area allows us to get prepared, and those young men did a great job. And then just want to say, as a team, felt like our energy was high from start to finish. It's always hard to have a break like that where you leave the field and stop play for a delay, and I thought our guys came back on the field and did not miss a beat, kept their intensity, kept their focus, and then came out and finished. So really encouraged by that. And so we knew it was an important game for us, and the players responded. So very excited about having a trophy game this week. We all know the bucket is a huge priority to our program, and take a lot of pride in this game. Really, really blessed to be a part of one of the top rivalries in the entire country. I just know I've been several places where we've had some trophy games. Not every place has this kind of a rivalry game with this much passion and intensity. And being raised in this state, seen this game for many, many years as a younger person, and just so much I know goes into it, and so much is on both sides. And so we fully understand the magnitude of the game. We understand that both teams have 5 wins and know what that is at stake for both sides, and love that. A ton of respect for Coach Braum and what he's done there at Purdue in a very short time has really transformed them, and they're playing with a ton of confidence, and their defense is extremely talented and playing well, and their offense is, he's a tremendous play caller, and just does a really good job schematically, and maximized the talent he has there and on that side of the ball, and their special teams really are on point. So really respect and have they've gone on the road and played well, and to win at Iowa was impressive. And so we understand we have to be at our very, very best this week, and going to compete to prepare that way, and going to fight to do everything we can to win this game. Questions?
Tom, when you deal with Coach Braum, he's known for some trick plays. So how do you, I guess, what do you pour over everything he's ever done, or do you just try, how do you anticipate?
Well, you can't rep every single one of them. We'd be practicing for a couple weeks if we did that, so, but I have played against him in the past, and so saw it up close and personal, how he likes to run these, and so very creative, with all of them. So you just got to work in concept, which is not that unusual when you deal with anything that somebody does. You can't necessarily practice every single play that they have done in the past, but you teach concepts, and you use walkthroughs to review, and you show video, and just being conscientious of what they do and where they can run them. And they do so many that it's hard to you're not gonna get a beat on them, and it's really about, I know a lot of coaches, it's just having the gift to know when to call them, is probably the biggest thing that you have to deal with. So that's just a matter of, to me, you want to play physical, play fast, and react. And that, to me, is what you got to do. You got to react to those kind of plays.
What if you had a chance to go over the game, the Iowa game, Iowa-Purdue game, and if you did, what have you seen from that they are doing different, that they weren't able to get done in the beginning of the season?
Well, to me, the thing that stuck out was they made some really nice throws that allowed them to take advantage of some one-on-one matchups that Iowa was giving them, and they won those. Great throws, great catches. They converted those situations, and that was the difference in the game. Their defense, I think, has been consistent. As you go through and prepare each week, you watch, opponents' offenses, so we see their defense a lot because we play all the same teams pretty much. And so have noticed from the very beginning of the season that their defense was vastly improved. And so they got a lot of upperclassmen on that side of the ball, so very mature group of players. They just, got a new system and a new coaching staff that's, I kind of liken it back to, a year ago, we were the most improved defense in the country. And I think they're probably going to have that, award at the end of the year this year, statistically. So, but whether it is number one or whatever it is, they're way improved. And you just got to tip your hat to them and say, hey, they're doing a heck of a job. So Coach Holt does a great job, and once again, his staff was together at West Kentucky, and really, I don't know if it's every single coach, but it's sure the majority, and they do a tremendous job. So they bought into what they're doing, and so that, to me, when you go through and you watch, you see that game, their defense has consistently played well, and it's kept them in games, and then their offense against Iowa made some key plays at critical times that they had to, and they muffed a punt as well, and then Purdue made them pay for that, and that kind of probably separated the game and kind of took it out of reach. And so just a complete offense, defense, special teams, and they put it all together on the road.
On that, the breakthrough is the big thing we're trying to get done here, and win one of those big games. for them to have gotten that done on the road, how do you think that has affected their team and their team's men?
Well, I would assume, being in that situation, other places, I think that creates a tremendous amount of confidence, for your team. Everything that you're talking about doing, you took a huge step towards doing that, had a great win in a tough environment to play in, for sure. So they have to left that situation feeling great about themselves, and increases excitement and elevates the stakes for this week's game, which is the way it should be, and that's why, to me, I think that's exciting for this game, and to be able to be in a game like this that has so much passion and meaning outside of anything else other than just the game itself, and then you add in, the component of how they're playing and how we're playing and what we're playing for, so it just makes it pretty special. So I think it makes it exciting, and that's what you want to be in these games like this. And so that's why I say I feel blessed, and we're fortunate to have this kind of a game, and that means so much to so many people.
In the last couple of years, also, you've gone into a situation where needing the win for a bowl, but has any of those times been where your team is seems to be peaking at the right time, running on all cylinders? Purdue's, they're kind of clicking on all cylinders, and it's coming to a head.
Yeah, I agree, and I haven't been a part of, as a coach, any besides last year, so I can only relate to that. But it does have a different feel. Last year they had an interim head coach situation, and I thought the kids came in here and played their tails off, talking about Purdue, and man, they were physical, and they played way better than they showed on film, and it came down to the last play, to win the game at home. So it's going to be an absolute dogfight, and that's the way it should be, and that's I'm sure every year, and I haven't gone back and studied every single bucket game, but I know for sure this year everything we're saying is what the environment's going to be and the circumstances for the game, and so that makes it really, really extra special.
The defensive line, I think it's 12 sacks in the last 2 weeks, something like less than 130 yards rushing. And I know those guys have had solid performances kind of scattered throughout the season, but last season y'all really seemed to kind of turn it on the second half of the year along the line of scrimmage defensively. Now it seems like it's happening again. What are the keys in your mind?
Well, first of all, I think Coach Hagan does a tremendous job with our defensive line, and he's such a bulldog in technique and drills and just relentless. And I think I described him that way a year ago, and that hasn't changed. And what that does over time, you get all these practice reps and all the things that they do, and you just keep getting better and better and better. And we've had some, young guys had to get in a new role, and we lost, a couple guys early on, and other guys got to step up. And so just really proud of how hard they've played all year long, but then their production has really elevated here in the last several games. I think it's just a matter of just staying the course and getting better. And I think if a guy like Jacob Robinson, who's always been solid for us, but played a little bit inside, outside last year, now he's just been full-time as a 3 technique and just getting more and more comfortable with that position. And a guy like Alan Stallings, who's really his first year playing for us and had to step up when now got injured to start the season, and Gooch is coming into his own, and I think Robert McCray is really kind of becoming what I thought he could be all along, just by consistent preparation, technique. But once again, goes back to Coach Hagan, just staying with it, and not allowing them to ever let up in practice and the drill work that they do. Because you got to think, in that position, when you go do special teams, they're over there off to the side, just drilling and drilling. Same with the offensive line. They're just over there working. And everybody, because a lot of those guys, there's a few more D linemen on special teams than there are O linemen, but they're still, the majority of the group is not. So they're over there just drilling. And so all those reps add up. So I just think that, and I think as the season wears along, teams either do this or they do this, and the teams that you want them to be doing this at this time of the year. And our guys did it last year defensively, and they're doing it again this year defensively. So it's, we have a system that we believe in, and we coach to that system, and the kids have bought in, and I expect them to be playing their best ball this time of the year, and that's what we want. So really excited for them and excited for our team that's what they're doing.
You enjoy the challenge, obviously, your background, strong defense, going against another head coach, strong offense. It's almost like a perfect scenario.
Well, I will say this, I've never, ever tried to make a big deal about, hey, I'm going against this. It's not, me versus him. It is not that. Now, what I do enjoy, I enjoy the schematic challenge of going against a guy like this because it's hard, and he does such a great job. And, but it's all of our coaches, it's all of our players, against their offense. And it's our offense versus their defense, and it's our special teams versus their special teams, and that to me is what matters most. But just from a, what you get out of it as a coach, the all day, Sunday and all day Monday working to try and find a way to scheme against these guys. Yeah, that's kind of the rush you get as a coach. You enjoy that for sure, but it's challenging with their system. They do a great job and create a lot of conflicts and put you in binds and do a great job, understanding what you're doing and trying to expose your weaknesses, and we're trying to do the same thing with them. So it's just the chess match that coaches go through. So we're working hard as a staff to find the best way to get our guys in great position. Then our guys got to go out and make plays. But yeah, that's kind of the fun part of all this.
You talked about wanting your team going this way at the end. It kind of seems that way the last couple of games, pretty complete from all three phases. Do you feel like your team's maybe hitting their highest point at the right time?
Well, I hope so. That's what you want for sure, and that's what we're working towards. And the product on the field is showing that to be true. But it's all how you finish. And this is, we knew. Going to this last quarter of the season, what we needed to do, and we've attacked each one at a time, and now we're ready for this challenge, and we're going to put everything into this, and you want to play your best football this time of the year. And so still got different guys back, not back. I mean, that's part of it. Everybody's got injuries this time of year, so you just got, hey, whoever's healthy, let's get these guys ready. And so, but just encouraged by the team, being at a point where you want to be, playing well right now.
You weren't around for when they signed, but Chase and Richard were part of a really well-regarded recruiting class in 2013. I think they're kind of the only guys left. I know as fifth years, it's not totally surprising, but what have those two guys meant for your defense, maybe over especially the back half of the season?
Yeah, I think Chase is a guy that when I first got here, he was injured, and so had a foot issue. So really didn't practice that spring, really was disappointingly not ready for fall camp like we hoped he would be, just hadn't recovered yet. So he really kind of limped into last year. And so then by the time he did get healthy, he was splitting time, in the back end, and then had a great off season, worked super hard. Just through we felt like we had great depth. He was huge on special teams at the end of last year. Was at the beginning of this year. Loved that role. I mean, he embraced it. He really was great at that. And we kind of split time, and we just was able to allow us to rotate in the secondary. Well, then Marcelino is injured, and so now he becomes the full-time guy, and just took off. And I know he probably wanted to be the full-time guy, and we'd set those two guys down, and sometimes we'd rotate them in different ways, and one guy would start. I'm talking about him and Tony, and they had a great attitude about it. I'm sure they both wanted to be the starter, but we're great teammates. And so, but then when that happened, so he's playing probably more snaps, and we're trying to find ways to get him off the field, because his special teams plays continued. And but I can't put enough, say enough great things about what he's meant. He's matured off the field, his leadership. Just hear him talk. I mean, he'd be the first one to admit that. He's a different person now than he was, when he first got here, and he's truly grown up and become a young man that, he feels good about where he is, in his life. And so really proud of him for that. And I just need to see him rewarded for his play. And then Richard is a guy that, if you want to play aggressive defense, you better have corners. And to me, his skill set is a great match for what we want to do, and we try and position him in the best possible spots to be effective. And now when you establish yourself as a true corner that can cover guys, then eventually they kind of quit throwing your way, and sometimes that's happened to him, so, but, he's going to be tested this week. and he's going to have to rise up and play his very, very best. And they've got a bunch of receivers that can make plays, and that's what you expect from a team that's coached by Coach Brom at that position, and that's what they have. And so I just know that he and the rest of our secondary is going to have our best game of the season.
You had to make a helmet catch like Water did.
I tell you what, when it happened, I'm like, the whole sideline's act. He made catches, not necessarily that exact one. He made acrobatic catches all last year on the scout team. It was unbelievable. I mean, it was like every day he made some crazy catch that we'd be talking about. And so when he made it, I really wasn't all that shocked, but it was cool. And our guys on the sideline were all fired up for him. But he just, he's a team favorite because he just never says anything. He just does his job the best he can and has become a scholarship guy here that's contributing. And you couldn't be more proud of a guy like that. It was fun to watch.
Raheem Lynn got his first start Saturday. And
Did.
I know they don't throw the ball a lot, but I remember one play, the field bubble screen or something, and he came up and blew it up, took the guy's feet up. Just as a freshman, he seems like a guy that maybe is more physical than maybe a typical freshman would be. Is that kind of what you guys are seeing?
I agree, and it showed up on special teams too, and earlier in the year. And so, he's definitely a very courageous player, loves contact, he's quick, fast, tough. It's a tough jump to go from high school to playing as a true freshman at any position, and you get out in space and on an island, and you got to have, bad memory. They're going to make some plays on you, and you got to come right back and make a play yourself. So really needed him, with Andre being down, needed him to step up last week, and he did that. And so, his physicality is I love that. I mean, you have to find a guy that can run and hit, can cover and tackle, at that position is a huge benefit. So we're really, really proud of his play, and I think he's got a bright future.
You worked Riggins back in a little bit too. Is that an ongoing process?
Who's that?
Riggins?
Oh, yeah. Just more and more. Yeah, and I hope this week is even more full bore, and he's a guy that, as we all know, played really well for us last year, and is hopefully finally now getting back to his regular form. So, Sean's an awesome young man that really want to see him back out there, and both in special teams and on defense. So I think you'll see more of him.
Is there anybody else that either A, came out last weekend hurt, or B, you can imagine getting back, or you kind of maybe at the point in the season with guys like Hale and Ball where it's just time to shut them down?
Yeah, I would say with Hale and Ball, don't expect them back, and once you get to this point, you really don't plan on burning any eligibility up that you can salvage with that. So, I don't expect them to play. And Andre Brown's a guy that was out last week, and we hope to get him back, and still trying to evaluate Simon and his situation to see if we can get him back. But other than that, I think the guys that you saw last week are who you're going to see. So.
Everything's critical for this game. Everything has to work, but is there one thing that sticks out more that the team has to overcome, whether it's being on the road, being at Purdue, or having a bowl game on the line?
I think it's just handling the adversity of the game. Things are going to happen. You're on the road. They're going to have, their fans. They're playing for the same thing we're playing for in all different levels. And so I just think that you have to be able to handle the adversity that's going to strike. I don't know what that's going to look like. No one can predict that. But the team that handles that the best, to me, will be the one that probably finds a way to win the game, because it's going to happen in these situations. And, I've seen in rival games crazy things, crazy plays, crazy changes of momentum and shifts and all that. So you just got to ride it. You can't get too excited when things go your way early, and you can't get too down if things don't. You better just play it, and sometimes these games go to overtime, and seeing it decide on crazy plays like that. So that's just a matter of mental toughness and perseverance and grit, all those things that we take so much pride in here at Indiana.
Coach, I know you guys got a game, but recruiting, you got about 19 guys. I know you can't talk about players, but with your last 5 or 6 spots, are there certain positions you guys kind of want to hit with these last remaining scholarships you have?
Well, you just you go through and you look at your current roster, and we need to sign a quarterback. That's a huge priority, and have to be able to shore ourselves up, in the secondary, just because of graduation. Linebacker, I think, continue to be a priority, and as well as you got individual spots where you say, hey, if you get the right person, you plug them in here and there. But those would be the glaring things, that stick out right now. And obviously securing the guys that we already have committed and making sure they sign with us, So working very, very hard. We'll have a plan to go out right away. And recruiting is a huge part of our building our program and building on the foundation that is being laid and to allow us to continue to grow.
How is the new signing day kind of affecting Brand Patrick? And also, it coming in your first year as a head coach, how's it kind of made it maybe a little more stressful, or has it made it easier?
It's more stressful because you just look at the calendar. I mean, the clock's ticking, and you only have so much time, and December 20th is going to be here fast, and then you're finishing your season, you got your bowl preparation, all those things going on, and then you're having to go out and get to all these guys that you want to sign, and then you got to decide, who's going to sign on this date, who's going to sign on the other date, and just, it's because it's the first time doing it, I think there's a lot of unknowns, a lot of question marks that we're having to deal with, and it's definitely made it very challenging, calendar-wise, so we just got to, we're going to have to learn and grow through it, and I've been talking to other coaches too, everybody's kind of in the same boat, first time doing this, as a staff, so we just got to decide what we like and don't like, but it's important to get to the guys that we need to see and get that important one-on-one time with them and their families.
Is it like it could be a full class of 25, or is it still kind of a moving target?
It's a moving target. It all depends on several variables, but it'll be close to that. Great. Thank you. Have an awesome day. Elio.